So I truly believe that listening to different music, studying different things, and just getting involved with what's happening around the world would definitely help you build that person or that character that you want to be as an artist. And from there, then you can move.
Hello,
Hi,
Daniella.
how
So
are
lovely.
you?
I'm fine, thank you. So lovely to meet you here on Zoom.
Yes, finally. We've been trying for quite a while, but we made it happen. Life
Yeah,
happened. So thank you.
exactly.
Thank you so, so much for your patience. I appreciate that.
No, that's fine. I'm just so happy that we can talk now. And I see a little dog there in the background.
Yeah, they love chilling in my studio. I have two, this tiny white one here,
Yeah.
and then Arnold and Luna. That's their name,
Uh,
Arnold and Luna.
Arnold and Luna.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay, so
They stay here.
and this is your studio.
Yes, this is my home studio. So I pretty
Mm.
much have everything I need here for my rehearsals, recordings, productions, and so on. Yeah.
So you do all your recordings there as well?
Yeah. Yeah. I believe pandemic helped.
Yeah.
So allowed me to dedicate some extra time to learn new things, educate myself. And since we have so much available out there nowadays with this technology, I took advantage of that. And rather than stay wondering what my future would look like, I would just do something with my present and started recording a bunch of music and basically learning how to produce because I wasn't able to perform for quite a while. Uh, that is the main reason why I just decided to do a lot of music to have that a catalog there and keep on
Yeah.
producing. So whenever I will perform again, I will have something to show, and that's
Oh,
basically
that's
what I did.
Yeah, but that's wonderful that you did that. You used the time and that you explored these things. And I actually spoke to a violinist who said that even the fact that you just now understood sound, and the recording aspects of it is also wonderful. That also brings now an insight to the other side
Yeah,
of recording. So
that is true. That is true.
yeah.
And yeah, we definitely have to use the knowledge that we have as classical performers, or perhaps we train in a certain way with classical music, but it's a bit difficult sometimes to record or capture that same sound that goes live into a, a microphone or an
Yeah.
interface. It will never be the same, but it's still something that, even though we can't really share it because it's difficult to perform sometimes during that time, I mean, it was, I just found it very helpful. And I think it's a good opportunity for other musicians and artists to be able to know how this technology work, because they don't
Yeah.
have to depend on other people, so that they
Mm.
can record their things and they don't have to wait around for a producer to be available, nor have to pay that much money to actually record something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good thing. I'm glad that that violinist was able to do the same.
Yeah. Yeah. No, quite a few people have explored this and, made or got equipment and sort of studied and how is it possible to do it themselves and so on. And I think that gives it also for you some sort of independence in that
Yeah,
aspect that okay, so when I have to do it, I can do it.
exactly. That
Yeah,
that that is the whole point. That is the whole point.
yeah.
Definitely.
But I want to know more about your career as well and your singing career. But first, you have to tell me what sparked your interest in singing. Was this something you did first, or did you play an instrument first?
Well, it goes back way, way back. I I always tell the story on how I started singing when I mentioned basically the day I was born, or when the doctors found out that I had a heart condition before I was born. It sort of took singing to a whole different level in my life, in my career. I had a 50-50 chance of survival. So I had an open heart surgery when I was 6 months of age. And the doctors always said, she's going to have some troubles walking or running too much because the lack of oxygen. And in music, long story short, in music, I found that singing will help me develop and improve my lung capacity. And singing became my therapy since I was little. So
Oh,
I've been
wow.
singing since I can't remember, basically 2 years, 3 years, because it made me feel comfortable. It made me feel alive. It made me feel healthy when I was singing. I couldn't do many other things because of my body, but singing was something that came so naturally because it really helped me breathe better and have more oxygen. And a lot of people always ask me, but what made you go into singing and why singing? Well, it really is my life that it
Really?
became my therapy. And somehow I think I was just born to be a singer because that is something that really helps me
Mm.
just live my life as a normal person, as a normal human being, without
And
any
now,
other heart troubles.
yeah, but and your heart condition now, is it better?
It's a lot better, definitely. I have a really good lung capacity, and my cardio also improved since I was little. I was not able to run a lot at all, and now I'm able to basically jog for an hour nonstop. But singing was
Wow.
what helped me get there, I always say. And then I didn't do much sports because I had the music on my side. So it's basically something that really truly helped on my everyday life, and something that I always say it was meant to be.
Yeah, but this is now interesting because you would think immediately singing and breathing. You have this connection, and you say actually that helped. So that was it. It made the lung capacity more,
Mhm.
so it didn't hinder it. The singing didn't hinder, and it just made it better.
That is correct. Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Singing is 80% air. It's breath control. And people really don't think about the fact that you need to know how to breathe properly so that you can sing properly. It's air control because the voice itself is air. There's nothing else. Without air, there's no voice. That's why it was so helpful because I studied a lot of air control, breath control when I was little, and that helped me really just release my voice naturally. And a lot of people will be like, wow, how can you be so loud when you're so small and when you're so young?
Yeah.
Well, I've been working on my lungs for my whole life.
It's
That's basically what it
incredible.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is something that people have to learn, or this is part of the training and singing, and you've
Yeah.
already then achieved that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first step. Definitely.
And then, so of course, this was part of your life then to sing, but when did it kick in and you think, okay, but this is what I want to do as a career?
Yeah. I think when it comes to deciding what you want to do in the future, the rest of your life, and sort of what you want to dedicate your time, 100%, 24/7. It was more when I was a teenager, around 14 years old or 15 years old. That's the age in my country when you start thinking about your future because you graduate from high school when you're 16 years old in Colombia. And I was actually considering going as a vet because I love animals, and I always wanted to do something that had to do with animals, taking care of them, and I wanted to study some vet to become a vet. And at some point, I realized that with singing, I am also able to help animals. If I'm able to raise a certain amount of money, I can open up my own sanctuary, and I would actually provide more jobs for other people that could work as vets and do that and, take care of the animals, but continue with my singing. As a vet, perhaps raising this amount of money might be, I think, a bit harder unless you're an entrepreneur or whatever you want to do with medicine. But I wanted to cover both, and I decided to really do my music full time. And I always had very supportive parents, so they were always there. Whatever you want to do, just go for it. And I got myself on a scholarship at the music college over there in Colombia. I've been performing so long in that city in Barranquilla that I was able to audition. They gave me the scholarship, and it was really good because even though my parents were supportive, they could not be able to really afford any education for me. So I was so honored and grateful that I was able to cover that by myself and say, you don't have to worry about it. Just, lend me the car so I can go to college. And that's all I need. But yeah, it's basically that moment when I decided I want to do sort of both things in my life, and music itself would really be that help in order for me to be able to give a hand or open foundations, organizations, and help out the animals and do concerts around the world. And I love traveling, so that's also part of it. And yeah, when I was a teenager, I definitely decided this is going to be my career, but my lifestyle too. There's nothing else like that.
And then the training and so you did voice, that was what you trained for. Did you do other instruments as well?
I studied music when I was 9 as an music academy, and then I graduated. In that academy, I learned guitar. I learned a little bit of violin, although I don't play that instrument anymore. And I learned flute. I do play flute still to this day, and vocal technique. So those were my instruments. And then during college, I would study just performance and vocal technique. But I have my guitar, which is my second instrument, that I go to basically to write and compose new music, and it helps me. It's really travel size. I have a tiny guitar I can take places. It's not an ukulele, it's a guitar. It's just very small. And I travel with that guitar everywhere to help me write songs. But I find it convenient for an artist to know at least 2 instruments to be able to really create new sounds if they're into creating new things. If you're really focused on one instrument, then go for it. And I know a lot artists like that, but I also wanted to be a writer, so I needed another instrument to play along as I'm singing the melody. I can play some harmony and chords and so on with the instruments.
Yeah, but that was also what I wanted to ask is the writing, music writing, and you write your own songs?
Yes, mostly. When depends on also on what I am working on or what I want out of the song. I'm a very open person to new ideas. Say if I find myself stuck in one place, I do want to have more help. So I call my other composers and producers, hey, what you think about this? What should I do? Or, write something over it, or change everything if you need to. Or if I am just writing about either a personal experience or a thought that I had, and it's a certain song that I want to be like that, then I just write it by myself. And it's a process that I've been doing since I was 12 years old or 13 years
Wow.
old.
Mm.
And I never really talk about this experience, but I did a song, and then I signed myself up for this songwriting competition, gave me the first place somehow, and
Wow.
I haven't sung that song ever since. I have
Really?
no idea where the recording is, but it gave me the encouragement to be like, I actually have some ability to write music, and I want to pursue this even further. So I did, and really is something that fills my heart, because it's not just singing what other people wrote, which is fine, and I love songs in general and covers. But as a writer, I always just wanted to have something of my own and be able to sing it. And that is one of the main reasons why I didn't pursue such a deep and operatic career, because I will end up singing what other writers wrote, and
Oh, yeah.
Puccini and Mozart and other opera in general. And although I love opera, I do not want it to be my main goal in my life, because I also wanted to write my own music. So yeah, I've been doing it for quite a while, and I am currently recording my music. Should be out next year. But yeah, it's really, really helpful to be able to tell stories and understand why other writers write certain things. Because when
Yeah.
you are on this side of really the industry, when you're looking at other writers, you're like, actually, I kind of get it now. Why he wrote this, or why she wrote this thing. I finally get it. I understand it. And because you're also part of it. So I truly wanted to understand those things. I was just very curious when I was little. But yeah.
But do you get inspiration from everyday life, from your life to write? Or what do you write about? Or what inspires you to write?
Life itself really
Mm.
inspires me. I think emotions will give us the specific moments and bring back memories. So to me, emotions such as happiness, enjoyment, sadness, loneliness, those emotions, those feelings will always inspire me. I am moved towards the extremes. I either go really happy or I either go really sad.
Okay.
So I love those emotions. It's really something that every time I sort of perform or I show those songs that I wrote, really happy songs, the comments are always the same. Man, I feel inspired. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then
Really?
all the sad songs that I write, people are like, my God, what you doing to me? So the emotions, the moments, because we have gone through happy moments and sad moments in our lives. And to have that reflected in a song, even if you haven't really gone through that specific subject in the song, such as the past, someone passed away, and maybe you have not gone through that really, or some loss or something, but it's the feeling of it. It brings
Yeah.
back memories of something else. Maybe something you watch in a movie, or something that made you feel a certain way. That's what I write about. I love to help people bring memories back and really connect. And it's wonderful to see how they feel the song, even though they don't understand the language. That is also something really, really extraordinary to experience and to see in other people. And I write in English as well, but most of my songs are in Spanish. But sometimes I'll show them, English speakers will be, it's so sad. I don't know what you're saying, but it's making me want to cry. And it goes into more depth. It's not just the language, but it's the chords that you use, the the chord progression, the harmonies, the melodies, the notes itself, they all play a big role in writing music. So it's really a fascinating thing to see people's reactions. So I go with the strings, really happy, really sad, and you know, just to vibe with the music, and
Oh,
every day I would sort of think about a memory and I would try to write about it.
well, this is what you're saying about people not understanding the words, but understanding really the song.
Yeah.
There's a music professor who actually did sort of a project like that, where he gave people music that they didn't understand, you know, the language that they didn't understand. He gave to artists and he asked them to produce an artwork of what
Mm.
they think the song meant. And they actually were spot on about what it was. And even though they didn't understand the language in which the
Oh
person
wow.
sang. So it is true that we can understand it. And you know, it's like you say, it's the way it is sang, it's that emotion that you have in the song, and because you understand the lyrics, you project it like
Yeah.
that. So
Well, that's
that's,
fascinating. That research, that
yeah,
test that the
yeah.
professor,
I
that's
did, I did,
fascinating.
I did an interview with him. I will send you the link.
Oh
He talks
yeah.
about that. Yeah, he talks about that, and talks about how important it is to pronounce the words right and to put this emotion in the song, and so on. So yeah, you will find this very interesting if you,
Yeah.
because you sing in a different language.
That is so accurate. Yeah, it
Yeah,
sounds about right. Yeah, please do. I would love to see it.
yeah. But now tell me, and after you finish now with when you finished with college, with your training, what made you decide in which direction to go? So you said now that you wanted to write your own songs and so on, but what is the genre that you enjoy singing most?
Yeah. I decided to leave my country in Colombia because of that main reason. I was not feeling truly connected with what was happening down there in the music industry, nor against it. It's just not my thing. So in Latin America, there's a lot of, let's say, salsa type of music, merengue, this styles like folklore style of music, and then lots of urban music such as reggaeton, and that's really famous right now. And I was just never into it. I love listening to the music. Yeah, sure, I can dance to it, but I don't find myself comfortable or enjoying singing those songs. And there came to this point where I was just feeling stuck. I was like, can't go anywhere here because I really cannot do what I want to do, which I really did not know what it was when I left my country. I decided to leave because I wanted to know what I wanted to do with my music. I left when I was 21 years old, and it took me a while to study new genres and playing around with sounds and different productions to truly just get what I want to do. And it's more of a mix between this classical technique that I possess as a soprano with a very contemporary pop ballad alternative sound. But I also combined a lot with electronic music and anything
Okay.
that has to do with emotions. Again, I don't do a stereotypical or typical music from a certain culture, but I do more of a universal or world music, that kind of sound. Only because I always felt the need to do music that was for everyone, not for one specific region. However, I've done cumbia before. If you have heard the term of cumbia genre music, it's more of a Latin style,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
a cumbia sound. I've done it before, but my main interest goes with world music, using my classical technique and applying it to a bit of a ballad, electronic, alternative pop music that could reach different places and in a different language as well. So, to sum it up, I always call my music genre lyric pop, which is classical music and pop music. And pop is popular. So, it's more of a lyric and popular music, lyric pop.
That's interesting. And but you said that you had to sort of look for it, or you had to discover it, and singing different genres as well. That brought you to it to discover that. Do you think it's important for artists to do that, to do this, to find it? Like to go and explore other genres so that they find their own type of style.
Absolutely. Unless you're a person who, from the very beginning, felt completely in love and comfortable with the style they were singing, stay there, have fun, and enjoy your life. But some people, most of the artists will not feel full or whole singing what they're performing or doing what they're doing at that moment. And if you're an artist that's signed by a record label or managed by big, huge companies, they usually, what they do is try to put you in this box or create this sort of stereotype or a product, make you a product. And some artists are fine with that. They just want to be famous and to just travel around. They really don't mind. But some artists that are more passionate, a lot of them feel frustrated and stuck and lost, and they have no idea who they truly are because they have no way of trying different things. And so that's why, unfortunately, they go into substances of abuse and all sort of things to find different ways of escaping that frustration in their lives because they're not fully who they are. So I truly believe that listening to different music, studying different things, and just getting involved with what's happening around the world would definitely help you build that person or that character that you want to be as an artist. And from there, then you can move. And it does not have to be just one thing. And that's a misconception. A lot of people believe, you just sing one genre, but no. It's how do you feel comfortable, emotionally speaking, with this sort of song? If you are feeling the music and if you can improvise or if you can really connect to it, it doesn't matter the exact genre you're singing. You could probably love singing electronic music, disco music, ballads and pop and all together. And I'm singing all of that. And I am putting my own style into all of those music genres, but I feel comfortable doing it. So it doesn't have to be just one. And I always tell that to other artists, friends of mine. Oh, Daniella, how do you do it? You're so chill doing your music. Well, because I'm not closing myself up into one thing. I'm just really open to what I truly feel like it's the most comfortable thing to me to do. So it is very important for artists to experience and explore, and not just artists, just anybody, really. Whatever you really want to do is, how do you know that that's actually what you want if you haven't tried anything else? So that goes back to that.
Well, a pianist that I spoke to once said the same thing, actually. He said that by playing different genres, you tap into different things. You sort of get something from each to then play something in a specific way. And this is now what you're saying. So you take something from each genre and how you sing it and how you feel when you do it.
Yeah, it's magnetic.
Mm.
It's magnetic. You
I
start
think that,
there, but you carry a little bit with you as a magnet, and then you bring it over to the next genre, and then you grab something else as a magnet, and that's what you are. You're thinking, okay, yes, I'm taking. If you want to take just the best of what you think is from that genre, and you take it with you. Yeah, that is right.
you've explained it very well now with the magnet. I think that is
Yeah,
a great way to see it. Yeah, to see it
yeah,
that
it's
way.
you're carrying it with you. Yeah.
But now you also said about in the music industry that some artists are being put into a specific category or so. And I actually recently heard an interview where they spoke about Whitney Houston, and where she was sort of placed into a specific uh, image and what they wanted, and then later on
Yeah.
she didn't understand anymore who she was, or she didn't fit in anymore in either way where they've put her. And now is this in America, because it is quite a big country, and I mean a lot of artists. Is there is it difficult to get into the industry and to be like you, very independent and very much your own person and your own artist?
Well, it takes a lot of willpower and being brave, I believe, in order to truly embrace who you are, whether or not you are signed by a huge record label. So that also depends on what you want in your life, or what you feel that you should do. And what happened to Whitney Houston, what's basically in that time was terrible, was very difficult. We're talking about late 70s, early 80s, where
Yeah.
she started developing her career, and she's this beautiful girl who has an amazing voice. So they have to sexualize her as much as they can to sell certain things. And we're talking about uh, a woman back in the day. And
Yeah.
now we still have see that in the music industry, unfortunately, in every other industry, honestly, where women are, if you don't shine certain way, if you don't do certain things, or if you don't, in music, I just speak for the things that I know, if you don't uh dress certain way, then you won't be able to sell this much, so we can't sign you. So can
Yeah.
you, you need to be more attractive to men, for example, so that you can sell more things, and it's able, it's helpful for the I forget the company that signed
Yeah.
you.
Mm.
So now it's changing a little bit, but still, it's still a bit hard for indie artists, for independent artists. So the way I see it, and I like what Billie Eilish did, was she embraced her own sound, and she developed her own image in a way where she's never been sexualized. And Billie Eilish is actually wearing big hoodies and all the comfy clothes that you can find,
Yeah.
and just doing music that makes her happy. And she did it independently first. And when you reach a certain following or support, then these big record labels will be like, oh, what's happening there? Something's happening there. I want to see who the artist is. And I always recommend, and I always say, you should always reach for certain reputation or have certain level in your career, so that then you can consider proposals from record labels
Oh,
if
yeah.
you want to work with them, so that you can actually negotiate. Otherwise you can't negotiate anything, because then you're from the bottom and they're going to bring you up. If you're already there, you're like, oh, you want things from me, so let's talk. And it's a matter of being patient, but first really really developing who you truly are, because there are many, many artists in this world, many artists. and you think you're very special and you think that you have this talent and all of that. But guess what? Maybe, I don't know, in Japan, there's someone that sings a lot better than you and is doing basically what you're doing, but a bit better. And you're like, oh, that's true. So you have to understand there's going to be a lot of competition or a lot of other artists, but it's staying true to who you truly are. Because that's what fans love. People love an artist that's true, that's real, that's human, that's, they go through the things that we go through, and that they are able to put all these feelings together in a song. Oh, I love that. How come she was able to overcome this breakup? Why is that even possible? Like Olivia Rodrigo, for example.
Yeah.
She writes about her personal things, and that really gets to teenagers and early 20s youth that will listen to those songs and would really feel encouraged by that. So you got to be brave to put yourself out there. You put your music out, you're opening up to the world, and it's your insights. Your music, it's what's inside of you. So it's being brave and really patient and have willpower to strive and continue on that path. Yeah.
Well, you seem to have to understand what you want and to know where you are, and you have your own personality, your own style, and so on. And but do you still have to think of the marketing side of how do I put myself out there? How do I get to do concerts and so on? Or do you have a team that does that for you?
Oh my gosh, yes. I do have to think about those things, because it's, even though you don't want to, as an artist, as a creative artist like I am, I wish I didn't have to worry about social media or posts or photos or videos. I just want to do music. But it's not as easy as you think. So you truly need, if you're not into those things, and youth nowadays seem to understand everything about social media. I'm lucky enough to have a good team of people, friends, even, and partner that understand these things. So they will truly help me or guide me through different things, or say, Daniela, I believe you need to post on TikTok this thing, or we need to do this video. And we're planning that out for next year, actually. In my case, as I said, well, besides being really brave and have willpower and just go for it, you also need to be really open. So you don't forget who you are or what your beliefs are, but you need to understand that sometimes to reach certain audience, you do have to get into this technology section and do social media and promo and all of that. So you play around with it. Of course, you never do things you don't want to do, but it's more of like, okay, I finally get it. I understand and how it works. So I am working on that right now, and building up some campaigns and things to promote the new music I'm releasing next year. I'm very excited for that. And at a certain point, it seems to me like, oh, I've been recording for so long, but then how do I tell this story to people? Because I love my music, but how do I explain that to others? And that's where you have to work on writing a sort of a script, or how can you make other people understand this work that you put in easy words. It's more of like, that's the complicated part, because I will go too nerdy and I will start explaining how the waves of the sound work and what's the key of the song, what are the chords that I'm using, and people are like, huh? So yeah, I need normal people to tell me, Danielle, you experienced this live and this is what makes you feel like this. So you need to know how to explain normal things, like these things in normal language. So that's, that's basically.
That is true, that you know what you're doing, but it's not always easy to explain it to people.
Yeah.
But now tell me about this recording.
Yes, I am doing lots of music. Actually, it's I recently just finished though a song for a video game that I was writing. Always wanted to do that. Never thought I was going to do it, and never really pursued any music for video game soundtracks. But it just happened this year, and I was, let's do it. I've never done it, and
Amazing.
I
Yeah.
am a gamer myself. I play video games like crazy.
Really?
I love Pokemon. I literally have Pokemon figures everywhere in my house. Pikachu. And I love video games. So since I was little, I always felt so connected to that video game that I was playing because the music was so good. And people don't even really think about it. Video game music, it's so amazing. It's not mainstream music. It's music that makes you feel as you play along the video game.
Well,
So it was a challenge.
My son
Yeah.
is a big gamer, and I know
Oh,
that he
really?
sometimes lets me listen to some of the music because it's so beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cinematic, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's so good. Exactly. So you understand.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
So I had that chance and I did it, and it was quite fulfilling actually. I felt so great and so happy with myself that I was able to do that. And I did it with Ildelmaro Alvarez. He's an awesome producer and also writer. And he is from Venezuela, although he lives here in United States. And we did this piece, 6-minute song for the soundtrack for the video game. We'll probably be making more. But that's one of the things I did this year. And the other music that I'm recording is basically putting together EPs. I'm thinking, not quite sure, or just a full album or just singles. But I'm recording music. I'm doing song by song. I'm doing covers and I'm doing original music. I am looking forward to finishing a Christmas song that I will be releasing next year. This year is already too late, but I want to truly feel that the Christmas song it's what I want. And it's music that I've always wanted to record. And that's why I tell you at the beginning, it's such a nice thing to be able to do recordings by yourself because you do it on your own time and you have some certain dreams and certain goals, and to be able to do it and say, you know what, it's happening. I'm actually going to finish this by myself. Wow, it's great. So I'm doing that, and songs in Japanese, songs in Spanish, songs in English, and I'm also going to record a couple of classical arias from famous operas such as Carmen. So I will be doing 2 pieces of 2 arias of that opera. I'm recording those, and perhaps some Mio Babbino Caro from Puccini, and other like mainstream aria songs, aria opera songs that I could record for people. So that will be another EP. So I'm doing all of the music that I want to do.
Yeah.
Just the music that I want to do.
And it's
Because
lovely.
honestly,
It's lovely that you have the control of it, and you know that you decide what you want to do. Because I also think in that way, it's that creative freedom that you have. You know that that you have the opportunity to do it that way.
Yeah, if you have that sort of freedom, it takes away lots of weight on your shoulders. But you should need to know you have the freedom, but then sometimes you don't have the structure or what you want or know what you want, and then you lose a lot of time. So it's important though to understand these are my goals, and I need to record this. So I have a list of all the songs I need to record, and I'm not improvising. I'm not doing anything else. I'm doing this until I'm done with this. I start another project, because otherwise I go crazy. That's why I have my team here with me, because otherwise I am too over the place with ideas and things, and I have to do this, I have to do that, and
I'm
it's
a
all
bit like
go.
that. I'm a bit like that as well. So I understand that. I sometimes have to really say to myself, okay, now today you have to do this. You have to sit
Exactly.
down and do this specific thing
Yeah.
because the mind also, wants to do so many other things. So I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But now,
Exactly.
Daniela, tell me what are still your wishes for the future? What would you
Oh,
still like to do?
yes, I have so many.
Really?
I do connect every wish though to my main goal, which is have a lot of music out there, a catalog of music, I call it, because I have projects to make music for the rest of my life. But the thing is, I don't know if you're very familiar with Sia,
Oh,
the
yeah.
singer.
Yeah.
I always tell this because I find it quite funny, but it's also real. It's a fact. She is one of those artists that don't really need paparazzis or red carpets or be seen around or being taking like extra photos or gossips. And she just writes music and she performs sometimes whenever she wants. And she's just there sitting on her sofa, petting her cats and getting checks every week.
Oh,
And to me,
okay.
that is the life.
Oh,
I love that life. My wishes are to have so much music that I don't really have to worry about like
yeah.
performing or not. If I want to perform, I'll perform, but it's not really about the money itself. It's about just for the joy of performing. That is basically that's what she's doing. And she wrote so many songs for Rihanna, from other artists. She's been writing songs for so many artists. So she basically doesn't really have to do anything else in her life.
Mhm.
She's just sitting there and she performs whenever she wants. So my goal is and my wishes are to have a chill life in the future where if I if I have a performance coming up, it's for the main reason that just I'm just going to enjoy performing. And I want to have a lot of music out there. So that's why I'm working now to create music. So I don't have to worry about timelines and or
Oh,
due
yeah.
dates and all of that. It's already out there or I already have everything recorded. So I just plan ahead. When I'm releasing it next year, this song is done. I don't look at it anymore. This is done. So it's to have a lot of music out there, to do more video game music, to perhaps go to cinematic music and go more for like movies. I have a big interest in voiceover acting, so I perhaps might be looking into that soon and also have the big dream of starring in an opera. I want to do that as
Really?
well.
Okay.
Yes, because
Yeah.
I love opera. The fact that I don't do it constantly is just because it's someone else's music and I want to do my music too. But that is one of my dreams, so I never stop working on my vocal cords. I need to be ready for that whenever it happens. And
Yeah.
perform more, do more musicals if possible. I want to do the Phantom of the Opera. That's one of the musicals I've been looking forward to. And and yeah, so many wishes. But it's all dedicated to having a chill life in the future where everything is
Yeah.
I work hard now and then I relax in the next 15
Okay. Yeah.
years.
But
That's
I don't think
what
you
I'm
will
thinking.
ever stop working because you've got so many ideas and I think you are just one of those people who just like to do things and
Yeah,
to
that's
develop.
true.
Yeah. And
I'm
do
trying to say
more.
that so that I can convince myself to chill in the future.
But
But
yeah,
yeah, I
sometimes
know.
but I think it's sometimes like when you enjoy what you do, it is also a way of being relaxed so that you just don't have that pressure of, oh, I have to do it. It's like I
No.
do it because I want to do it.
Yeah,
That's so
exactly.
true. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's
No,
true.
no.
But this is so interesting to talk to you. So lovely. You've got such a lovely personality. And I
Oh,
just love the
thank
fact
you.
that you know what you want and that you're very content in who you are and
Yeah.
you as an artist. Um, so that is very inspirational. I'm so happy that you took the time to talk to me.
Oh
But
no, thank you.
I
Appreciate you
just
so much, Petra.
I
Really.
just have one more question for you.
Yeah.
Can you do a shout out for your favorite restaurant or coffee shop in your area? Where do you visit regularly?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Actually, I used to work there.
Oh, really?
So I'm going to give them a shout out. Yes, it's a
Mhm.
Pure Kitchen in South Tampa. It's a
Mhm.
vegan restaurant, grab and go restaurant. I worked there for 4 years, and they are the loveliest people, and they make the most delicious vegan meals that you can find. I'm also plant based currently.
Yeah.
Been
Mhm.
plant based for 6 to 7 years, I believe. I want to
Mhm.
say. So it's to me, it's an adventure to find new vegan places. But I love Pure Kitchen,
Okay.
and they also serve coffee, not a cafeteria, but they have more like delicious food and sweets and so on. But yeah, Pure Kitchen.
Oh, amazing. Okay. Yeah. Daniela,
Absolutely.
have a lovely day still ahead. It's morning where you are.
Yes, yes.
And
What time is it over there?
it's now 6 o'clock.
Okay, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
But whenever you come to Vienna, please let me know. I would love to
Absolutely.
meet you in person. Yeah. Maybe you can come do
Absolutely.
a concert here.
That would be lovely.
Yeah.
And then what's the weather right now over there?
It's very hot.
Just like here. Okay. Okay, good.
Okay, Daniela. Speak to
Well,
you
thank
soon.
you. Thank you so
Okay.
much, Petra. We'll be in touch. I'll be sending the
Yes,
links.
definitely. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.